All right, Playbwoi the Great, how you what?
Man, how you what, bro?
Yes, sir. It's
Studio Drew.
yeah, it's dope to have you in here. We tried to lock in like in Atlanta and different places.
For
I
sure.
feel like everybody that watches this podcast is gonna know who you are. One of the
Hopefully.
top producers. There's only a handful of really like producers that are doing their thing,
For
and I
sure.
I for sure see you up there because I see your beats all the time. It's
Appreciate
like
it.
undeniable. Whether people
Mm,
love or hate you, people are using your beats for sure.
for
And
sure.
you have motion going on through your own music and just the life you're living,
Right.
so I feel like it'd be cool to talk about that and then give game for Indianapolis, so
Right.
more people that want to be in that type of position can do it.
Appreciate you, man. Yeah, appreciate you having me. Yeah, like I don't like to toot my own horn, but yeah, I put in a lot of work to, what I'm saying, be in the position I'm in. So I appreciate you reaching out to me and
Hell yeah.
making this interview happen for sure.
Yeah, and I know it's not even a short amount of work because it's been years. Really, you've been on the Indianapolis scene for what,
Right.
almost like 10 years. It seems like, or
Man,
something.
dinner longer than that, bro. It seemed like forever. I dinner don't even want to say a specific number, but just know I'm like, I say I consider myself a veteran in this shit, Been doing this shit for ages, since my son was even thought of. And, he 14 going on 15. So, yeah, I've been doing this, it seemed like forever, for sure.
All right, so let's cut to the chase. For all the artists watching this from Nap, what advice can you really give them to succeed with it?
Man, just stay true to you, man. Don't try to be too much of nothing that you ain't, Just keep going, cause you never know when your number gonna get called. It might seem like you've been doing something forever and it ain't paying off, but our time ain't always God's timing. So you definitely just gotta keep going, man, and believe in yourself. Cause if you don't believe in yourself, you can't expect nobody else to. Yeah,
Yeah, that's real. And you live in Atlanta, right?
yep. I'm in the A. Been down there for quite some time. My mama stay down there. They've been down there for shit almost 20 years. So Atlanta definitely like a second home to me.
And you've traveled like multiple states, right? Like kind of all around for the music.
Yeah, man, I done been a little bit of everywhere. So
What do you see from those other cities that you wish that Indianapolis would learn from?
that's a good question, man. I don't know. We just need to put more time and an effort into creating more outlets where we can, showcase our music and showcase the talent that we got here. Cause I mean, the talent and the work ethic is here within a lot of artists, but we just don't have too many places where we can spread and showcase, what I'm saying, what we got going on.
Right.
But I feel
No.
like a lot of this stuff that the media people or the vlogs or people like yourself is doing is really gonna help with a lot of that.
No, I appreciate that. And that literally was the goal for the channel because I realized as an engineer, I know most of the artists, but really for a person wanting to be a fan of somebody in Indianapolis, it's almost
Right.
hard to even find who the top artists are, who the top producers
Yeah,
are, of like
yeah,
who to even look up to because there is like a scene, but it's not like there isn't like a center stage, where like you can really look up and see like who the best is.
right. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, we
And
just
even
need.
even that's subjective because really there is so much talent here. They're different. They're producers in different lanes doing their thing. That's not even just rap. That are still, like getting like international work.
Right.
From Indianapolis, which is like it definitely is possible.
Yeah, the more outlets we got, the better. It could bring all that shit together. So
Let's go viral real quick because that's what you were
for
saying.
sure,
What's your top 5 producer list in that?
in Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a good question. See, I ain't gonna lie, I'm not too hip to the new, younger generation of producers. So I'ma just say the ones I know from my, what I'm saying, my start, my generation. In no specific order would probably be Swift the Gift, Burks did it, Ranch Sauce, um, I'ma say some what is their name? Sedell Young. I think they was Beats. I forgot what their name was. But Sedell Young and damn man, that's a good question. No, I'm trying to see who made. Did I say Burks already? Burks
Yeah, you
did it.
said that. Yeah.
Burks did it. Swift, Ranch Sauce, and probably Sedell Young. And man, yeah, free. What's his name? Damn, what's his name? Sir Hart. Free Sir Hart, man. That's gonna be my top five because I'm going off impact wise, like, and it's other producers that I probably didn't name. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to them, but
Right.
just me coming up. I know impact wise, those are some of the producers that stood out to me and really helped me. Some of them producers helped me with my sound. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
And just doing that, you're honest about how biased those lists are because, like you said, you're really going off the people that and impacted
exactly.
you, and they of course you're gonna forget people too because when you name the top five like NBA players ever or something,
Right.
there's so much time has gone past. Like you
Right.
gotta respect the different eras too.
And you always gonna forget somebody, man. So it
Yeah,
ain't no
exactly.
disrespect to nobody that I left out. It's
Yeah.
just that's who come to mind. You know what I'm saying? That's I
Give me
was
a
put on
top
the
three
spot.
artists.
Top three artists out of Indianapolis.
Yeah.
Uh, my fam E, of course. You know that's my brother. But even outside of him being my brother, like dude, talented with the music shit. Um, man, Debo hard. You know me and him got a couple classics. And young Kano, man. Shout out to Kano. That's my dude. Like, he really underrated as fuck. Like, one of the greatest artists ever, young Kano.
Yeah. And those artists you mentioned too have stretched the time too to where they're not just here in 1 week and gone or even
Right.
1 year. People have known them for years to be like the best.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, my fam E, he one of the hardest working artists that I work with. So, and me and him, it's deeper
He
than
is
rap.
hardworking. That's facts because
Yeah,
he be in here all the time and
and
doing
it's
other
deeper
shit.
than rap. That's family. So, yeah, I definitely fuck with his music and just the music that we make because we done made a couple classics for real, timeless records.
Yeah. He's one of the first people I saw that had, for a while he was basically using your beats almost
Yeah,
exclusively.
yeah,
And
we
I mean, there's a handful of artists I know that they don't want to rap if it's not a Playboi beat.
right.
Literally, there's like a handful of artists that only use Playboi beats, which
Yeah,
is,
that's
I
hard.
think that's dope. And as a producer, it can be so hard for like the upcoming producer that knows they can make good beats, but they don't know how to lock in with
Right.
multiple artists and have people want them as their producer. How do you think the business, like, what can you really say about the business of being a producer, of how you're sort of better at handling the business than maybe a producer that just cooks up in their room all day long?
Um, I mean, I feel like you gotta know the approach before you even press a button. You know, you gotta. It's it's important to have understanding. You know what I'm saying? Whenever you lock in with an artist, but the most important thing is the chemistry. You know, because that's some shit you can't really pay for. So if the chemistry not there, you might as well not even press forward because it's like a lot of stuff that me and E made and any other artist that I really work with. Like my biggest records was stuff that we might have sat down and created together. You know what I'm saying?
Like
So
in the studio with the
yeah,
artist?
exactly. So I feel like chemistry is the main important ingredient to have when you locking in with producer and artist. So it's definitely business first, but chemistry very close second. You know?
And from what I've seen, you can sell more beats for the producers that do lock in with the artist and they get them to come all the way to the studio.
Right,
Most of the time, they're there to buy the beat,
right.
and I feel like they convert more sales that way than just emailing it out too.
And then as a producer, having like a direction, like when you make beats, it's good to have like a song idea or a hook or some type of direction where you can help the artist become more creative. Like me and Boosie, we made a few records like that. You know, Ungrateful being one of them. Uh, I just feel like that's what separates a beat maker from a producer. Like being
Mm.
able to like conduct a complete record.
You're producing the whole track. You're not just making the beat.
Exactly.
No,
Exactly.
that's real. And obviously, I bet everybody watching this already knows you're locked in with Boozy too, which just sounds insane. You know, to
Hmm.
be able to do you live at Boozy's house and
Nah,
shit?
nah, I don't live with Boosie. A lot of
No,
people think that shit, but
that's what I always hear. You know?
yeah, I be over there like I do live with him, but nah, I definitely don't live with Boosie. Like, nah,
Yeah.
I don't. I know a lot of people think that, but that's a myth
Well, I
for
mean, and
sure.
he probably has a lot of his own stuff going on, whether it's like family or
Yeah, I
whatever.
mean
But
that
so,
motherfucker big enough for me to live there if I wanted to. Not
yeah,
not not to say that I done spent a couple months in that motherfucker grinding it out, but yeah, like nah, I got my own space in Atlanta, so
no, that's dope.
but it's definitely like family vibes because I'm with Boosie more than people might even know. I just don't. I'm not big on recording shit, and you know
Right,
what I'm
like
saying.
always making a thing out of it,
Right,
especially when it's a real relationship. Because if it is more of like an everyday thing, you don't want to be every day. Hey, look what I'm. You
right,
know what I mean?
right.
Like that's the even with the podcast that like fake aspect like really makes it shitty to do. You know, like
Right,
it makes
yeah.
it harder work even to do than just to like kind of keep it real and just be yourself. You know what
Yeah,
I
I
mean?
can't just be in a person face with the camera
But
24/7.
did
That's
you
just
used to look up to Boozy? Because I know obviously I was a fan of Boozy. I think everybody was a fan of Boozy. You know what I mean?
yeah. He always like I told my buddies. He always was like a favorite artist of mine since I was 13, 14. Like Boosie was definitely one of my top favorite artists.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And
So it's
people in
kind
the
of
South
surreal.
like swear by it. Like it's like a different love for Boozy. I feel like too. Like the
Yeah,
people in Louisiana and stuff. Like
yeah.
you hear them at least, especially back then. Like that was the only favorite rapper. You know, like there it
Hmm.
wasn't like really a rap Rushmore. It was like yeah, Boozy's like the goat. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he was an innovator. Like his music was it was different from a lot of stuff we was used to when we first heard it. So I definitely took a huge liking to him when I first heard his music, and for me to be able to be one of his producers now is just like surreal, bro. So I appreciate the opportunity, not only being a producer, but being an artist that's able to collaborate with him and an artist that he basically vouched for or put he stamped my shit, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
before anybody else. So
Because it's not like you just got a placement. It is. I mean, literally, you guys just released "Preacher Man," where
yeah,
he's featured. You're featured on
right,
his song, which
right,
is
right,
it. Like an artist doesn't just do that by accident.
right. And I actually produced the record too.
Dang.
So it's yeah. I like I said, it's surreal, man. I'm just appreciative of the opportunity, you know what I'm saying, and taking advantage of the moment for sure.
Yeah. Literally, that the Bupac album. I mean, I used to listen to all the old stuff too,
Hmm.
but like even his new stuff, I still listen to.
Right,
And like the "Hope You Make It" song on Bupac, that
right,
was my shit. You know, like
right,
when I'd be like fucked up going through it or something.
right.
Like literally, that's a song like I always end up
Yeah.
going to
And
and
that was
stuff.
my first placement on that Bupac album I did. Um,
You made
Pain
that
Run
beat?
Deep. I made Pain Run Deep.
Oh, really?
It's a song on there called Pain Run Deep. I think it's track number 9 or something. But
That's
that was
dope as
my
fuck.
first actual album placement. The first actual song I did with I produced for Boosie was a song titled "Crying" featuring B Will.
Dang.
So
Describe kind of that moment because a lot of producers are hoping for that moment of their first major placement. I don't know if that was your first major placement, but just
yeah,
what was it like when that happened? What was kind of the excitement
man, my
level?
first major placement, which was Pain Run Deep. Boosie actually called my phone, and I was like he say he don't call phones, he called shots. So the other times that he reached out to me, he had somebody else call, but this time he was on the phone himself. It was like somebody called, like Boosie when I holler at you. Then he got on the phone. So I'm down there like, you lying. I couldn't believe this shit. Like, hell, this not Boosie. And he asked me how much I wanted for the beat. I told him, you know what I'm saying, the price, and we got the business clear. He basically, yeah, he looked out for me though. He let me know my value was greater than really what I set it at. So
That's real.
forever, like that just was the start of a long relationship, and that's where we at today. I think that was back in like 2016. So
Yeah. And understanding the business, like you said, like knowing, like not selling yourself super short just
right,
because it's cool at the moment, it really helps because once you stand on business, then you can keep doing business. You won't go out of business in like a week because you fucked
definitely.
up or something. But say that happens to like a random producer here in Nap. They get the call from their favorite artist or something. What should they look for to stand on with the business?
I mean, just don't be afraid to express.
Like, should they ask for 50% and charge
I
like
mean,
two
I
racks or
can't
something?
say
Like,
what you
how should
asked for. I mean, if you're a
right?
producer, you should know the standard, but everything is negotiable. But just don't be afraid to make sure you get your writer's credits and your publishing, and make sure you get some type of percentage to where you can earn passive income. And if you don't, then make sure your buyout price is different from
Mm.
your starter price, your standard.
Yeah,
So it's just like I say, I can't give a specific number, but just make sure you set your value at where you want it and make sure they respect it.
yeah. And as producers, there are a lot of different business models. You can have your YouTube producer, you can have the producer selling beats for $20, whatever.
Right.
Uh, but is royalties where the bag is for producers and just music in general?
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely, man. So like a lot of people overlook that part, but like publishing is something that you can profit from years to come. Like if someone was to sample your record or use it in a movie or commercial or anything years from now, you know what I'm saying? That's money that you can still earn and profit from.
Yeah,
And what's to say the record that was sampled from your original record won't become bigger than the original. So
right.
that's even more money you can make. So never
And that
my
happens
advice
now
is
more than ever.
yeah, my advice is to never sell all of your publishing if you're a producer. And if you ever do, then just make sure it's worth it,
Yeah,
in your eyes.
yeah. Uh, so with do you keep like part of the songwriting royalty too? And we won't keep talking about the producer stuff, but it like I just feel like I want to be able to like to give game to the
I mean,
producers
yeah,
that don't know stuff.
if you can keep any percentage of royalties that you can, do that. But like I said, every situation is different. Like
Yeah.
whatever you negotiate, just make sure that you're comfortable with that.
S-
But
So when it comes, because you're not only a producer, like we said, you literally have a song with Boozy where you're featured on it. You have multiple songs that have been out for years,
right,
that have been like Indianapolis
right,
classics too.
right,
So, but the reason I guess I keep talking to you as Playbwoi the producer is because that's what I see all the time too
for
with the
sure.
beats and stuff. But did you find it hard to separate that?
Yeah, at times because uh I was just talking to my guy, like a lot of the times my record may be bigger than my person, like, you know what I'm saying? I might have a song that people don't identify me with as far as my image,
Mm-hmm.
because the record done became bigger than the entity. So yeah, I definitely had like, I won't say it's a problem, but it's just something that, I see often. Like I know I need to promote Playboi the artist or just Playboi the entity a little more. That's why I have done like a lot of my covers with my face on it,
Right.
so people can
Yeah.
put two and two together. You know what I'm
No,
saying?
and
But
I
it's a
think you
lot of
do a good
records.
job of that.
It's a lot of like the Punisher record with my fam E, for instance. It don't say Playboi on the beat. It say Out the Gate, and a lot of people don't know that Out the Gate is
I didn't know you
my
made that song.
tag. Yeah.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that. So I feel like it ain't nobody else to blame but myself. But as I go, I'm still learning. So
No, that's
yeah,
dope. And what year did that song come out? Do you remember off the top
Punisher.
of your head? Yeah. Because I
Man,
mean,
what
that's an
year
example
did
where like you
Punisher
guys had
come
the
out?
city on fire, and that was a minute
Yeah,
ago too.
I did
It's
Punisher, and
consistency.
people don't know I did No None for Debo. Uh, Freak with Kitty Red. Um,
Shout out Kitty Ray.
Man, I did a lot of shit. I know I'll forget, but I want to say 2017, some shit like that. I'm not sure when Punisher came out with Lil E, but yeah, that definitely was a record that made a big impact. But at the same time, a lot of that didn't trickle back to me because a lot of people didn't know I made that beat.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because of my tag. So
And just sort of in that era, producers weren't putting their face to producing as much either. You know, you didn't have the Metros and
right,
Murder Beats or whatever the different producer is that now like them by their face.
right,
You know that used to only be like Timbaland or somebody maybe.
right.
You know, it was less of a thing.
Yeah, so it's important for producers to put an image, you know what I'm saying, to the beats because a lot of that shit can affect your come up, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And I see what you do, like you say, as a whole entity, because you are one of the greatest producers from here, but that increases the artist side too, because that
Right,
means you actually have talent with it and
right.
you already have your foot in the industry, and like you're going to be able to do more with your music than somebody that only downloads YouTube beats and doesn't really know anything about it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like my main claim to fame in the city was making beats and hooks. So a lot of the features I did were beats and hook sales. Like I would sell the beat to the artist with a hook already on it.
Hmm.
And like, cause I really didn't have an investor or have the money to really invest in myself as an artist. So that's one of the reasons why I started making beats, cause I didn't want to keep having to foot the budget of me buying beats from other producers like Burks and Swift the Gift. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I've always figured I had an ear to do this shit myself, so I kind of like watched a few producers and mirrored what they was doing and
Yeah.
figured it out myself.
I feel
And
like that's a major key for independent artists, engineers, and producers. They all start off by saying like, "Why am I paying this dude when I could do something myself?"
yeah,
You know what I mean?
it's important. Like if you can acquire another skill that can like keep you with one foot in the door, then definitely do that because being an artist isn't always marketable or it's not always something that's gonna catch somebody's attention versus you being somebody that can offer a skill. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? As far as somebody that can shoot a video or make a beat or record a song. Like that's one of the reasons that got me around the people I'm around now, me being able to make beats. So for the first 2 years, Boosie never knew I did music.
Really?
He just knew I was a producer. So, but that alone got me in the door to even be able to play him on music. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No, that's yeah, because you're really learning that skill, and you can make money while you do it. You don't
Oh,
have to you don't
definitely.
have to necessarily work a day job doing something totally different. But when you're selling beats and making beats all day, then your ear for music is going through the roof because that's literally your day job is just cooking up
Most
and
definitely, bro.
selling them. But if somebody wants to hit you up right now for a beat, what are you charging for a beat?
See, the thing is, I don't really solicit my prices, but I'm working with budgets. You
So you
feel
want
me?
them to
So,
message you
yeah, DM me. I'm gonna hit you right back
on
for sure.
Instagram?
On Instagram,
That we'll link it
Twitter,
on.
any social media. All my name is the same. Playbwoi, PLAYBWOI_88.
That So I find almost all my success with business on Instagram just because I never have used Twitter
Right.
or really. I mean, I guess YouTube is kind of popping now. Shout out the YouTube subs, but literally like Facebook and all the other ones, I don't even try to do business on.
Mm-hmm.
Do you find that like Twitter and different ones, you do almost the same amount of business?
Um,
Because I've been thinking about starting it, just to
I really
push a little
won't
more.
say like my Twitter ain't bumping like it should because I don't be on there as much. But it's you gonna have people on any platform, every platform that you know what I'm saying. You got people paying attention.
Yeah,
So
yeah. Wherever you find like
exactly.
the
So
attention
I'm
there.
I'm definitely like hands on with a lot of business I do. So if somebody inbox me, I'm try to get back to them in a timely manner. It don't matter what platform they on. You know.
Right. Uh, but when it comes to business, I know firsthand too, when you wake up and you got a bunch of messages and you got a bunch of shit to do, how hard is it for you to maintain that? Because for artists, they don't always see how many artists you deal with, or like how stressful some of the business handling is of it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it ain't got too crazy right now, but I mean, I always say if you got a situation that needs to be managed, then just get you a manager. You know what I'm saying? Whenever
Yeah.
shit become unmanageable, that's when you need a manager, man. So
And what should you look for in a manager? Because a lot of artists just choose their friend to be their manager because they want to come up together. But what skills and stuff should they be looking for?
man, definitely somebody that's trustworthy and somebody that's stand on business. Somebody that don't half-ass when it come to
Right.
business.
Right. And it can be your friend. I didn't mean that like it can't be somebody close to you, because you do want somebody that's going to be, like real with you and stuff.
Definitely.
But I feel like it's important to have that understanding of the business to where you need a manager for X, Y, and Z, not just to say he's your manager. You know what I mean?
For sure. Yeah, being trustworthy is the main characteristic. Like, cause when it's money involved, that shit change people, man. So definitely
Yeah.
gotta find somebody you can trust.
In Atlanta, would you say that's like the hot spot, or do you think there's another city that you think is the
Music
yeah,
wise,
music wise?
I mean, the internet. I can't even say one
Right.
city right now, cause the internet is just bringing everything together. So like you never know, it could be a new hot spot tomorrow when it comes to the internet. But
Yeah.
I mean, Atlanta always gonna be a mecca for music for sure. Houston, I've been seeing Charlotte.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying, coming up. Even Austin, Nashville. Like, but the internet more than anything is bringing a lot of shit together.
Right. Because it is a numbers game. If you're hoping to get a million fans, you got to reach a billion people, and no city's gonna have a billion people, yet.
Definitely. So
Yeah.
the internet is the main focus, man. So that's why we trying to do a lot more visual content this year and just make sure we stay alive. You know what I'm saying, with posting content each and every day.
What about the artists, that are focused on the craft? They're a real rapper. They don't want to become a TikToker to be a rapper. Do you think they even stand a chance in today's world?
Yeah, I feel like it's a lane for everybody, man. So you just gotta, as an artist, you gotta make music that's relatable. That what I'm saying, people can like basically associate with their life and what I'm saying, whatever it is that they going through, whether it be good or bad. But
Hmm.
definitely making relatable music is the best lane you can take for sure.
What do you think helps make like a hit song, like a song with longevity? Like you're saying that people
Just
can really
being something
gravitate.
relatable, like
Yeah.
speaking about a wide range of topics or something that people can associate with their struggles or just their everyday life. Because
Yeah.
I'm sure people's favorite song is a song that just touched their soul. You know what I'm saying? Something that they feel like they could have wrote themselves. So
That's
I
right.
feel like any song that
And they'll
can
remember that song when they have that feeling.
exactly
They'll remember
because
that
it's
song
it's a
too.
relatable song, something that they can say they experienced too. So that's the
No, that's
most
right.
important thing is just making some shit that people can feel.
Yeah. No, that's super real. Uh, so why do you make music? Like, what makes you get up in the morning, to do all this? Like, what's the real why of why you do it?
Man, just I've really been in love with music since I can remember. It's just like a passion. It's like something that's been a part of me since day one. Like I grew up watching my granny and her sisters sing in their group or whatever. My dad played all type of old school music, and my mom she kept a book of CDs. So it's like music always been something that's been heavily instilled
What do you
in me.
remember in that book of CDs? What's like one CD you remember from like your childhood?
Probably some Jodeci or just I don't know, like R&B.
Hmm.
Always been one of my favorite genres. Rap too, but I don't know. I always been like a connoisseur of just good R&B music.
Yeah, and like finding a good vibe too. Really.
Yeah, definitely.
Um, you've worked with a ton of artists too. Do you think it's sort of rare to find somebody that can really sing?
Yeah, yeah, it is definitely like because like R&B ain't as popular as it was back in the day as it is today. So it's kind of like a lot of shit be auto tuned out, and it's not as what I'm saying prevalent
They're
that
not
you
doing
can.
like the runs and the different
Yeah,
stuff, kind of
so
getting
we
getting
definitely
saucy.
need more real singers. You know what I'm saying? Because that shit is definitely scarce nowadays.
Yeah. Who are some artists you listen to now?
Mainstream.
Yeah.
That's a good question, man. Man, I listen to anything. I like coming across like fresh new artists. So I can't really say too many specific names, but anything that's just fresh and new and different. I like my son to put me on a lot of new artists, you know.
Yeah.
So
How old
like
is he?
he 14,
40.
Cowboy the Great. Yeah, he actually starting to do music as well. So
Really?
his buzz just alone, like with him just posting snippets, is growing like tremendously. So
That's
I'm
dope.
really excited to see what he gon'
Yeah.
what he gonna do. You know what I'm saying?
And having you to help him understand the business at 14, by the time he's 18, that business will be operating
Right,
for 4 years.
right.
You know what I
And
mean?
he
And
done
then you
been
have money coming in and
he
everything.
been in the studio since he was born. Like
Dang.
he never knew me to work a job or nothing. Like I always been working in the studio, and he'd be right there on my hip. You know what I'm saying? Or even when he was 3 or 4 years old, he used to want to make beats with me so much to where I just had to give him his own little makeshift setup with keyboard and a little fake computer just so
Yeah.
he wouldn't pounce on my stuff. So yeah, he
No, but that's dope. That's
hella
dope just to
musically
be in the
inclined.
studio as a kid,
Yeah, so he
just to know
already
it's
got it
there.
honest. It's yeah, he good. He don't need me to write nothing for him or nothing. Like he write all his own stuff.
Really?
Yeah, and this shit dope as hell. Like I
That's
think he gonna
fire.
be way, way better than me.
Yeah. Who does he listen to? Like who does he put you on to? Like what kind of
A
style?
lot of young artists, artists out the city, Peasy, RBM Rello, uh, some mainstream artists like Hurricane Wisdom. Uh, yeah, man, he just
That's cool.
really,
Yeah.
yeah.
That's dope. And just to have that relationship is dope as fuck too.
Nah, yeah,
Because
that's my best friend
yeah,
for sure.
and
My
that because
son.
yeah, when you get to talk music with somebody, like that, it's different than like just like having a parent that like doesn't care or something.
Right.
Like at least you're like you literally are talking like he's like your like your
Oh
friend
yeah,
or something.
that's my dog
Yeah, that's
for
dope.
sure.
So have you had jobs in the past that you used to work that you might have like hated that now you think back on?
Um, yeah, I had before I really got super serious with the music. Well, my last job was at Finish Line Warehouse, but I think I had got too many points within the probation period, and I got fired or whatever.
Yeah,
And when they fired me, I was like, man, I'll never work a job again. So yeah, but I don't knock it though. Shit, if I got to tomorrow, I'll go get a job. But just
right,
fortunately, God blessed me to be able to make a living off of what I love to do. You know.
right. And even that, it can seem easy, but it's for sure not easy to not fumble the bag throughout years of running your own
Right.
business and like just being consistent. And sometimes you do have to grind even more hours than you were probably working at the warehouse job, just to get the job done with the music so you can keep it rolling.
Right. Yeah. I mean, yeah. Shit. Life happen, man. So the main thing is just keep focused and keep going. You feel me? So
Yeah. So I don't even want to like like talk about like Boozy too much or whatever because like obviously you got a ton of your own stuff going on, but when you see his operation of like his camp and just the work that goes into making Boozy the artist like a successful act in music and stuff, what do you like? How much work is it for him?
shit. I mean, I like he taught me shit. Work ethic is everything. So I done seen him sit in the studio for a full day and make so many songs. Like I can't even count. Like I done seen him do so many features within a day. You know,
Like pulling up on different
not
people
what people pulling
nonstop?
up on him, but
Yeah,
just staying, sticking to the plan and executing. You know what I'm saying? He taught me like when the money on the table, go get it. So
Yeah.
definitely, like I learned a lot just from watching him. You know.
T-Rel, he looks up to Boozy. You know, I work with him a lot here. And I see that work ethic even from him of like, you might on Instagram, you know, when Boozy's on Vlad and they're laughing or something, it might seem easy to somebody just scrolling Instagram,
Right.
but like you really are like committing yourself, you know, like it's harder than almost any other business to really do successful, you know.
Hell yeah. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
This shit is like when you're an entrepreneur, it's never no days off, man. You
Hmm.
gotta consistently
And if you do
chase the
take a day
bag.
off, it's you that's suffering. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's not the job you didn't show up to. Like you are the job you didn't show up to, you
Right.
know?
Yeah, you gotta chase that bag nonstop, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
So what do you think it takes to go viral?
Shit, just the right moment and the right content. You know, like
Did you watch the Cat Williams thing?
yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. You
That
know, I feel like a lot of shit be smoke and mirrors, man. A lot of shit be calculated. You know,
Yeah,
so
like they know what they're doing by
yeah,
that's what I always said. Even like when Kanye, you know, was always in the news and different stuff. Like in Rick Ross's audiobook, he talks about how, you know, like Kanye could get more news outlets to write about a tweet about Chris Jenner than they would when he drops his album.
hmm
So why not fire off some tweets, you know, to like, cause when they're making your brand bigger, you know, like
right.
sort of all press is good press when you don't give a fuck, you
That's
know?
exactly like that's what the internet brought about. Like they're making it easier for a viral moment. They're making it easier for a person to insert
Mhm.
themselves in
It
the
like
spotlight.
incentivizes the like the fuck that's the downside of it, you know, is that like it incentivizes people just to talk shit or like to say some shit that's not even true just
Right.
for
Yeah.
for
You
just
just
for
gotta know
views.
when and what to speak on, man. And
Yeah.
there you go.
Hell yeah. And I always tell artists too, the more you're you, the easier it is to do content and the more you're different from the other people, you know. So like eventually if you do content and you're like being yourself, eventually people are gonna, you know, like realize that and appreciate it, and then you could find how to go viral just being yourself instead of like trying to put on a show, you know, or like putting on like a fake character or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking right, bro.
Hell yeah.
Understood.
Do did you watch the new Dave Chappelle shit?
Nah, I ain't seen that shit
No,
yet.
I
I
did
heard
last
about
night.
it
That's why I
though.
was asking.
I heard
Yeah.
about it. What about it?
No, it was funny. I fuck with Dave Chappelle for sure. Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
I'm gonna have
everybody
to
does
catch
though.
that shit. I really don't be watching a lot of TV unless
Yeah.
I don't feel like working, man. But my main
Do you play video games?
no
Right,
no
because
video
that's
game.
hiring too. I don't have any like I don't want to stare at a screen after I'm working like in here all day too. But
Yeah, nah, no video games, man. I try to get my work in, and if I'm chilling, I'm trying to chill with a lady friend or my kids or something. You feel me?
yes sir. All right, so do you have like a woman right now?
Nah, no, hell
No.
no, no. I don't like.
Have you in the past when you were like on the road or you know like trying you were like, still chasing your dream, but like did you ever find that kind of conflict?
Yeah. It ain't easy, man. But you just
Yeah,
gotta have the right one. You gotta be dealing with the right person, man, that can understand the lifestyle.
yeah, that's true.
Right.
And when you understand like the business as an artist and you really understand sort of what you're getting yourself into, you know, when you choose to go down that route and like where and like if you can create the business stuff to where it all makes sense, you know, I feel like get like trying to get that understanding for artists before everything pops off is important, you know, so they can handle different situations.
Yeah,
It, so what's it like on the road though?
man. It's like, see, I've been doing this shit so long. It's like the road is the road, man. I don't be excited by like a lot of shit that I used to be excited by. You know,
Hmm.
my main focus is doing my job and making it home to my kids, man.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Have you ever had, I mean, I'm sure you guys have had probably like crazy times in the past that that, you know, like made it through now that make you not want to do like crazy shit, probably.
Oh yeah, for sure. Like
Yeah.
I seen my brother get killed when I was
Uh,
when I was younger, so I seen death with my own eyes. So
yeah, I'm
yeah,
sorry.
that shit that shit kind of affect you in a different way. It make you look at life differently. So yeah, I've been through some shit, man. A lot of people don't know, but yeah, I got a story for real.
No, I feel that. And obviously, we don't have to get into any details, but I think that kind of goes to the why of why you do it now.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like it lets you on the days you don't want to just cook up beats or something, but you know the bigger picture of like why you do it. You know.
Hell yeah, yeah. My brother, a lot of people that I lost definitely are inspirations on why I do what I do. Cause I know, a lot of well, a lot of my dream was their dream. You know what I'm saying? Just to see me make it, or they a fellow artist. They were fellow artists as well, like my best friend Rocky. So yeah, I do this shit for them, man. Definitely for the people that I lost, for the ones in jail, and for the ones that passed away. That's definitely where I draw inspiration from as well.
Yeah, and there is something about music where they do live on through you in music. You know, when you whether or not you're talking about specifically in the music, but just the overall like message and movement that you have as the entity. You know, what I mean, like you're making it live on like forever, which I feel like
Yeah,
that's dope because
yeah.
I
That's
feel like a lot
where.
of people can relate to that too because I know a lot of artists that have like a similar motivation. You
hmm
know, a lot of people are doing it for the ones that aren't necessarily here with them doing it. You know.
Like my record label that I started when I was younger, Rock Solid Music. That was basically something in remembrance of my best friend whose name was Rocky. I just took part of his name and
Hmm.
incorporated it with, what I'm saying, rock with the solid, and made a something in remembrance of him. So really everything I do, from the name of my projects to the names of the labels, or just anything I do, I try to dedicate it or base it off of, what I'm saying, loved ones lost, basically.
Right. Yeah, no, I can definitely appreciate that for sure. And part of that too is understanding your brand as a person, and like making things like what you stand on as a person. When you can stand on that in your brand as a business,
Mm-hmm.
it helps a lot too. Because like we said, where you're not like having to fake anything, and it actually means way more to you too.
Real shit.
But what do you what advice could you give about branding to like other artists that are trying to figure out, how to be like how to just take the music and be professional with it?
Uh, what advice could I give them about branding?
Yeah, like kind of developing like being able to stand on what they stand for as a person through their like business.
Yeah, you just gotta stay true to whatever image and brand you want to promote, or you want to the people to perceive. Like, I mean, and then you gotta like associate it with the right people. You know what I'm saying? You gotta do the footwork, manifest that shit. Like, but it's definitely gonna take a lot of work. You can't cheat the work. You know,
Hmm. You said manifesting. What exactly do you mean by manifesting?
like you definitely gotta see yourself doing something that you desire to do, and just speak affirmations into yourself daily. Like, you really gotta like want the shit. You can't just say it and not mean it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta really want what you desire. You gotta want what you set yourself out to do. So like anything I do, I always try to speak it into existence.
Yeah. You mentioned God earlier, and I wasn't planning to make it a part of it, but somehow the podcast always like lead to it. But so I just want to ask, what's your sort of view on like what God is? Like what is God to you?
Yeah, God is everything. I feel like you can't really do nothing without God. So whatever God you believe in, definitely gotta incorporate Him into your everyday grind. Because like I was raised in the church, my grandma
Right.
made sure we stayed in the church. Every Easter we had a speech to do. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like on my end, God is important, man. So like without God, a lot of this wouldn't be possible. None of it would be possible, for
Right.
sure.
No, yeah, that's real. I feel like it's good to even be able just to talk about like real shit too, because
Mhm.
a lot of the times people can feel a certain way, but like they never get a chance to really like express it or anything. But did you play music in the church growing
No,
up?
I ain't never played no music. See, I never played music at all. Really, anything I ever did was by ear. I'm more so self-taught. You know what
Did
I'm
you
saying?
do you use like what DAW do you use?
I use
FL?
FL Studio
When
and
did you
just a bunch
first
of
start
plugins.
cooking up in that?
Shit, I was like 19, 20, I say.
Did you play any instruments before that, or that was like the introduction
No,
to it?
no, I don't know how to play instruments. Like I only that was basically my introduction, and I learned about just watching other people and
That's
teaching myself everything else.
yeah. And FL really is your instrument because it's
Yeah,
every instrument, like
exactly,
every way you could play it.
exactly.
Yeah. When you're producing, do you like making loops or making the drums or making everything from scratch?
Uh, I started off making everything from scratch, but I'm open to loops. I'm open to
Hmm.
a little bit of everything, collabs, all that. But yeah, I definitely like to make shit from scratch for sure. Like I'm a melodic producer, so you know I got a lot of sounds in me, a lot of melodies in me. So I definitely like to make shit from scratch.
Yeah. Did I already ask this? Do you remember selling your first beat?
Oh no, do I? I just remember I used to work in MRC studios. The first studio I can remember them having, Lil Scooty, uh, what was it, Nitty, and Kilo G. They all had a studio on 38th Street. And I remember somebody told me I sold them a beat for $5 or some shit one day. I don't know. So I don't know. Like I really started from the bottom with this shit, bro. I don't know. I really must have needed it because I remember being homeless when I used to work in that studio. So like I literally used to live in the studio. You know what I'm saying? I ain't had nowhere to go. So me and LSD, we used to buy a cheeseburger from Rallies and take the receipt and call the number on the back to get an extra cheeseburger. You
Yeah.
feel me?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
it was really on the floor, like yeah, dick in the dirt type shit. So
Because you didn't even, if you were homeless, you probably didn't even have your own personal laptop at that
nah,
time,
nope.
right?
I swear to God, I was using somebody else's laptop. I remember it was my dude. I can't think of his name right now, but he used to leave his laptop up at the studio just to let me use it. So it was Scooty cousin, man. Matter of fact, so shout out to him, man. I definitely was making my first beats on a whole nother person's computer, bro. So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
motivation though for the producers out there that want to do it, but they're like, "Oh, I don't have a laptop yet." Like,
straight
really,
up.
nothing will stop you if you really want to do it. And like you said, like if you really want to like manifest that, like nothing's gonna stop you from
Nah, for
making it
sure,
happen one
bro.
way or
For
another.
sure.
Can you raise that just an
My
inch too?
bad.
I just want.
And I had my son on the way and shit too, so I definitely was in grind mode, you know what I'm saying? When I was when I had nowhere to go and living out the studio, I definitely was yeah, I was in that mode right there.
There was like a certain fear to it at that
It
probably
wasn't
at
even
that
no
time.
fear, it was just like a
Like you got
certain
to get
mode,
some,
like a mind state. Like
like a fire was lit.
yeah, definitely. Like
What advice do you give to the people out there that are in a similar situation? Like they might have one on
man,
the
when it
way
feel
and
like
trying to
you
get
at
it.
rock bottom, that's when it's about to pop off. Like rock bottom is just the next level from the top. Bro. It ain't no way but up from there. You know what I'm saying? So
No, that's
that's
facts.
the
Yeah.
worst time to quit, for real.
Mm. Yeah, because if you can make it through some of those worst times, then you're more ready to handle the
Yeah, that's
success
just
too.
another chapter to your story, man. So when you at the bottom, that's the worst time to quit, man.
Yeah.
Straight up.
So what do you want people to know about Playboy's story?
Man, I'm just like you. I ain't no different. I ain't no special. You know, I'm really a diamond in the rough, just like the next person. I don't think I'm no better than nobody. You know, I'm just appreciative of my moment, and you know, I just want to make the best of it. I ain't trying to step on nobody's toes. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Yeah, and I'm just blessed, bro. Blessed.
Yeah. So dream big though for 2024. What's something you see yourself accomplishing in 2024?
We going gold. We going platinum.
The plaques
2024
coming
for
in.
sure. Plaques
Yeah,
coming in. They on the way.
yeah. Shout out
Most
Jukebox
definitely.
Platinum.
Most definitely.
No, that's fire. Uh, what what other artists have you worked with? You know, as like notable artists that you worked with, just so people that don't know you might,
Got
you
some
know.
unreleased shit with Young Boy, Main Music, Mr. Kane. I got a song with Young Blue. Got some shit coming soon with Cashmere. A lot of up and coming artists. Man, just stay tuned. You never know who I might be working with next.
Yeah. And so when you're in Atlanta, do you find yourself selling beats to Atlanta artists the way you do here in Naptown?
See, the industry a little different, so it's like the way we do it on the underground might be different on the industry because a lot of times you might not sell a beat until they ready to release it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
You might not hear from that artist for another year or two until they ready to release that song. So it's kind of different. I can't say, but I'm definitely working with some big name artists, and whenever they ready to drop the shit, we dropping the shit. So, and I'm open to working with whoever. Like I say, the same people you meet on the way up be the same ones you meet on the way down. So
Mm-hmm.
I ain't looking at no artist no different because this unknown person might be the popping artist tomorrow. You know,
Yeah, that's facts.
straight up.
Yeah. And as a producer, it's not really up to you to say like what's the hit or not. You know,
Right,
like it's
right.
like you want to get your beat out there. I'm just curious though, did you hear the track back from Young Boy?
Yeah, we got a few records, but like I said, one of the songs that we did, it got leaked before
Yeah.
we can actually put it out. It's called Decide Now. So you can really look it up on YouTube. It's out now. It's called Decide Now, but it was actually leaked. And then a lot of the songs we did, when we did them, Young Boy had at least like 5,000 unreleased songs, other unreleased songs.
5,000.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. As a producer, you're not really sure when the actual song might come out
Right.
that you produce for
Might
the
come out in
artist
50
because right,
years.
because
You
they
know what I'm
might
saying?
have 5,000 more songs before yours.
Mm-hmm.
So then another thing with me and YB is that we both had a situation as far as we call cases around the same time. So the police took my phone and I lost contact with him and OG33. So if they watching right now, man, I need OG33 to get in my inbox right now or check his messages, man, because when they hear from me, they gonna know what's up because we definitely got some records for sure.
Yeah. No, that's real. And you
Yeah.
never know what'll happen from a podcast clip, you know.
Yeah,
Hit up
bro.
Playboy the Great.
OG33, man. I need you to hit me back, big brother. For real, we got some more hits to make.
No, and I'm sure that was damn near heartbreaking too to get a connection like that and have it be lost because of some
Bruh,
bullshit.
yeah, definitely
But
some
it's like you said,
bullshit.
when bad shit like that happens, really, that's like in a way like setting you up to reach the next high too, because
Right,
it's still a plus for the entity. You know what I mean?
right.
For all that to happen.
Yeah, everything happened for a reason. Timing is everything. So, yeah, I'm optimistic about whatever situation. So I know once we cross paths again, it's gonna be well worth the wait.
Hmm. But 5,000 songs is a ton. You know, most
I'm
artists
sure he
watching
had
this,
double that by
yeah.
now, for sure.
But how do you get 5,000 songs?
As an artist, you just sometimes you get ahead of yourself. Like when you step in the studio, me for instance, like whenever I'm fresh in the studio, I might be feeling creative, so I want to start something fresh. My mood might be different from the last time I was in the studio, so I'm feeling
Mm.
creative. I want to start on a new song, and if you repetition to have you doing that every time you get in the studio, so you look up and now you got 5,000 songs that you ain't even released yet. So,
Yeah, and when you literally live in the studio and you make a song, I don't know how fast he makes songs, but it sounds
right,
like he probably cranks them out.
yeah.
Then it's just a different thing if each night
I
you're coming out
remember
with five or more
this when he
songs.
came to Boosie House, he kicked everybody out the studio, and like he liked to be in the studio with the lights out and all that shit.
Hmm.
But I know he at least did like 3 songs in that hour.
In an hour?
in an hour, no bullshit.
Sheesh.
So yeah, YB. That's why I say, think about him doing that every day. Like that's
Mm-hmm.
why he got
8 hours
so
a
many
day.
songs, right? So many songs that's unreleased. So
Yeah.
definitely, I can believe it.
So I gotta know too, what's Boosie's studio like at his house?
It's cool. It's an in-house studio. You know, it's some everyday shit, but I feel like it's always about who's behind the computer versus, you know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying, the
Where the
setup.
computer is.
Yeah, yeah, because it's all about the engineer. So we got a cool set of engineers that get the sound right.
Do you do engineering too? Like, do you know how? Like, say there's not the engineer in the room, will you still be able to take
I'm
the
more
control?
so a track and engineer. I could track, but I haven't mastered the skill of mix down and shit yet. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I just learned how to track myself because it be times when you don't have somebody there to do it for you. So
Yeah, and as a producer, you don't want to not sell a beat because the engineer didn't show up.
right, yeah. So like I said, a lot of shit is important to acquire extra skills within music so you can make yourself more valuable. So
Yeah.
I done recorded a lot of songs for Boosie, you know what I'm saying, that people don't know. Like I tracked that. I might not haven't mixed it, but yeah, I tracked that record and that record. So yeah.
Who are the engineers on his team? Can you shout out any of them?
The main one he working with right now is Instinct. Yeah, so Instinct. It's a few more, but the main one is this guy named Instinct for sure.
That's dope. Because as an engineer, like we said about Indianapolis, where you don't always know who the top dog is because
Mhm.
it's not like a real central thing. Even with engineers, it's hard to know who the top engineers in the world are,
Right.
because maybe like Mixed by Ali or somebody, but under that level, you really don't know most of them, which
Yeah.
is crazy. Do you think engineers should get royalties?
I mean, yeah, a lot of shit just be, it's all about how it's negotiated, you know, because I
Mm-hmm.
know engineers that do get royalties, you know, just all about it. It ain't nobody else fault but the person themselves. Like, if you don't speak up on what you believe your value is, then you're not going to see it, you know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
because it's business. Even as an
Right.
engineer, you gotta
It's
understand
never
the business.
personal, bro.
Let me just raise this up 'cause it
All
keeps
right.
falling down.
We probably got to wrap soon, too.
Yeah, that's cool.
Got
Yeah, I appreciate your time of pulling up here. I know you're gonna be busy
No
while you're
doubt.
here. Uh, what do you want your legacy to be? Like, what do you want people to really know?
That's a good question, man. I just want people to remember me by the sound, remember me by, you know, just the impact that and the work that I put in for the city. Like, I don't care if I'm the biggest or the most praised. I just want to be respected for the work that I did, you know.
Hmm. What advice would you leave to your kids?
Shit, go hard, man. Just go hard. Just whatever you want to do, put your mind to it. Like, it's, you're unstoppable. You got king in your DNA, so royalty in your DNA. So yeah, it ain't nothing that my kids can't do, for sure.
Oh, that's real. Is there anything you have coming up that you want to talk about?
Yeah, new music on the way, new visuals. My next project executive produced by Boosie Badass.
Yeah.
More interviews. Yeah, more merch, all that shit, man. 2024 gonna be a real good year.
Yeah, I already know I'm about to hear your beats all year in here. So
Yeah,
if you're an
Lord
artist
willing.
watching this, hit him up. He's for sure one of the top producers Indianapolis has ever had.
Lord willing. Appreciate it, brother.
Yes, sir. Thank you for your time.
No doubt, man. How you what?
Yep.